The 90s weren't just about flannel shirts and grunge concerts. They were about soundtracks that snuck legendary songs into movies you might not even remember. Some tracks became bigger than the films themselves. Others stayed hidden gems waiting to be rediscovered. We're counting down 20 unforgettable 90s rock songs that lived on movie soundtracks.
You say I talk so all the time.
Before Lisa Loeb even had a record deal, Stay was already making history. Ethan Hawke reportedly passed her song along to Ben Stiller, and once it landed in reality bites, it exploded.
That I'm clever, that won't take me anyhow or anywhere.
It became the first #1 single by an unsigned artist in Billboard history, which means a slacker romance accidentally launched one of the most famous acoustic songs of the decade.
Falling farther from just what we are.
The Crow already carried a tragic aura because of Brandon Lee's death, and STP's Big Empty fit that mood like a shadow. The band had originally been working on a different track called Only Dying, but after the tragedy, they reworked things, and Big Empty became one of the soundtrack's defining songs.
Flower man, when are you gonna grow?
This soundtrack felt like a late 90s alt-rock conspiracy board in music form. You had bands like Foo Fighters, The Cure, and Tonic, all contributing to a movie built on paranoia, secrecy, and government cover-ups. Flower Man may not be the most famous song on the album, but it's the kind of deep cut that perfectly captures the strange, uneasy energy of Mulder and Scully's world. Singles is often remembered as the ultimate Seattle scene movie, but Paul Westerberg gave it something a little different. Dyslexic Heart brought wit, sarcasm, and a more jangly alt-rock feel into a soundtrack full of grunge credibility. It's basically the sound of someone being romantically confused in the most charming 90s way possible. It still feels funny that a Beavis and Butthead movie had one of the coolest rock soundtracks of the decade, but Soundgarden showing up on it made perfect sense. Bleed Together gave the soundtrack real weight, proving that even a dumb cartoon road trip could somehow attract one of the most respected bands of the grunge era. By the time Demon Knight unleashes its madness, "Hey Man, Nice Shot" feels less like a song and more like a warning signal. The track carried a dark reputation tied to a shocking real-life incident, which only made its presence on the soundtrack more chilling. Long before Deftones became one of the most influential heavy bands of their generation, Teething gave them a place on a soundtrack already loaded with darkness. The Crow, City of Angels may not have matched the legacy of the original film, but its soundtrack absolutely leaned into the era's moody, aggressive alt-metal sound. Empire Records didn't exactly dominate the box office, but it became a cult favorite because it understood the chaotic, emotional weirdness of youth. The Cranberries' Liar helped give the soundtrack that edge. If any movie needed a soundtrack that felt unhinged in the best possible way, it was Tank Girl. Veruca Salt's Aurora fit right in with the film's punky, chaotic personality. By the late 90s, movie soundtracks weren't just companion albums. They were events. For Godzilla, the Wallflowers took on David Bowie's Heroes, which is a pretty bold thing to do when your singer is Jacob Dylan. Their version gave the song a more polished alt-rock feel, and even though the movie got mixed reactions, the soundtrack became one of those giant late 90s musical snapshots.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
My Hero already had that huge, emotional, fists-in-the-air energy, so putting it in Varsity Blues was almost unfair. The song instantly amplified the movie's themes of rebellion, pressure, and small-town expectations.
There goes my hero. Ordinary.
It's one of those soundtrack placements where the song feels bigger the second it enters the scene.
I've been biding my time.
Secretly was already one of Skunk Anansie's most emotional tracks when it dropped in 1999, but Cruel Intentions gave it a whole new life. The song plays over the film's closing credits, sealing its most powerful moments with Skin's haunting vocals.
No one colored clay.
Clerks was made on a shoestring budget, but its music choices gave it real personality. Got Me Wrong helped ground the movie in the slacker grunge reality of the early 90s. It's also one of the more melodic Alice in Chains songs, which made it perfect for a film that was cynical, funny, and weirdly human all at once.
Gray ceiling on the earth. Well, it's lasted for a while.
Teen movies in the late 90s had an almost unfair advantage because their soundtracks were stacked.
Well, I won't be your winter.
Your Winter brought a more reflective, bittersweet side to 10 Things I Hate About You, balancing out all the sarcasm and romance. Mark Wahlberg's chilling performance in Fear was amplified by Bush's Comedown. The song's emotional intensity echoed the film's shift from romance to something far more obsessive and far more dangerous. I is one of the coolest left turns in the Smashing Pumpkins catalog because it traded their usual fuzzed-out grandeur for something icy, electronic, and unsettling. That made it perfect for David Lynch's Lost Highway, a movie that feels like a nightmare you can't explain properly the next morning. The psychedelic-flavored cover of Deep Purple in a teen slasher soundtrack sounds like a strange choice on paper. But that's exactly why Kula Shaker's Hush stands out. It brought a flash of swagger and color into a movie built on dread, guilt, and jump scares, which made it one of the soundtrack's more unexpected highlights. Batman Forever had one of the most aggressively 90s soundtracks imaginable. You had U2 Seal, and then the Offspring barging in with a punk cover of Smash It Up. That contrast is what made the album memorable.
I would die for you. I would die for you. I've been dying.
Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet was already drowning in neon style and emotional chaos, and Garbage somehow matched it perfectly.
See your face every place that I walk in.
Number 1, Crush, sounded obsessive, seductive, and dangerous all at once, which made it ideal for that hyper-romantic world.
Put yourself in stupid places. Yes, I think you know it's true.
By the time American Pie arrived, soundtracks had become a huge part of teen movie identity. Everclear's Everything to Everyone brought some real alt-rock bite to a movie mostly remembered for wild comedy and awkward coming-of-age moments. And there you go, 20 unforgettable 90s rock songs that found a second life on movie soundtracks. Which one of these songs instantly takes you back to the movie, and which one do you think deserved way more attention?